Don't know whether the camera's going to pick this up, and I don't know which pot these little blighters just came out of, but if you watch those little black dots on the surface, they're jumping, they're moving around, they're living. Well, not for long. I don't know what those are, but they certainly weren't on a plant, so they were in the media. Let me have a closer look. What are we looking at here? I better not get the camera too close, it won't focus. Have they got wings? I'm not sure, it's difficult to tell, because if they had wings and they've just been dumped in water, then obviously they wouldn't be able to fly anymore, would they? Right, what are we looking at here then? Obviously alive. Too small for me to tell their real outline as to whether that's a flying insect. Oh, well, it's certainly a jumping insect. It's just jumped off my finger. There's another one on my little finger there, heading its way up to the top. And now it's gone. Now, are these flying off or jumping off? It's difficult to tell. Anyway, it has come to the time when I have seen a few mealybugs around. There's an odd scale here and there, so the whole place is due for a good going over. The one good thing I've just seen, whatever pot I've just watered, there was a little spider in there. I wonder if I can get him out, because they're good things. They would eat little bugs like that. Is he dead? No, he's made it. So if I put him on a pot, and he can dry off and continue eating things. Oh, come on. There we go, that's got him. Yeah, all the little spiders in here get to stay because they eat little things, and the other little things shouldn't be in here. But whatever those are, I need to deal with them. See, they look too small to do any harm, but the one thing I really hope they aren't is thrips. Thrips come in all shapes and sizes and colours, and some are difficult to even identify as thrips. And they spend so much of their life as something other than the fly that we all know, that they're often difficult to spot, and a lot of time they're living in the media. But those little blighters burrow into your buds and things, and the damage is already done before the flower even opens, and they can be quite destructive if they get a hold. So I think the time has come to have a systemic insecticide spray round, which on some plants is a precaution, and on others, you know, as I say, there's a few mealybugs lurking, not enough for me to panic over, but you know, a routine spray can't do any harm. I'd love to know what those are. I can remember when I only had plants indoors that I used to get these, and you only ever noticed them when you poured water on the top of the pot and they started moving around. Otherwise, you just never saw them. And I never knew any harm come to the plant as a consequence of them. And I used to get them on most of the Phalaenopsis when they all lived indoors. You know, they were just in the pots, and when you watered them, they hopped around a bit, and then they stopped. Next time you watered it, there they were again. But they never seemed to harm anything. No roots seemed to be damaged, no marks on the leaves, and certainly no damage to the buds and blooms. So I think whatever they are, they're soil-based things. They might even be... Let me think, what do we get in here? These fungus gnats, these little bloody black flies. The things that I got this for, those that just seem to fly in your face when they've got the whole grow room to grow in. No, let's fly in Roger's face. But usually is the last bit of flying they ever do. But that's what this thing's job is, catching those. Now I wonder if these little hoppy things that have come out of a pot are like the larval stage before they turn into those black flies. That might make sense. But anyway, I don't see damage anywhere as a consequence of these, and the chances are these may well have just come out of one pot, but I've just watered like 3 or 4 on the trot, and I wasn't taking any notice of the water. It was only when I saw things moving I stopped, so I don't know which pot they came out of. Anyway, I suppose I ought to change the water now. Yeah, I suppose I'll have to, won't I? Otherwise I'm just going to water those into other pots, and then I've transferred them, which is just silly. I mean, that is the danger of sharing water. I may have already done it. If those came out of the pot 3 pots ago, then, you know, pot number 2 and pot number 3 followed on. I've got some of them in there now. So there is always a danger for sharing water. But as far as I remember from past experience, I don't know what they are, and I've had them before in quite large numbers, and they've never done any harm to a plant. So I reckon they might be the larval stage of the fungus gnat. But whatever they are, they're going out. So I have to change my water now. That's a bit of a waste. That's got a nice high level of feed in there. I was just doing my Phalaenopsis. Never mind, it's only pennies. Okay, I'm going to stop filming for today now because I'm getting a long way behind. I'm relatively confident that the little hopping bugs are thrips, or a stage of thrips. I'm just surprised I haven't seen the adult flies around. I have got some sticky fly traps, but I've got mainly yellow ones, and yellow ones aren't very effective for thrip adults. It's the blue ones you need. But a bit of research on the internet says that one of the best treatments is something called Spinosad, I think it was. I'll stick it in the description anyway. But it's readily available, which amazed me straight away. But it's sold in the UK as an ant killer. But nonetheless, it's the same ingredient. And the best way to apply it is in a diluted liquid form, if you can get that form, and just pour it through your pots, because that's where most of the life cycle of thrips actually exists. You know, that's where the eggs are laid, in the media, and the various larval stages right up to the pupation stage exist in the media in the main. So that's where you need to get at them. And if you can get the liquid form and get it down throughout the whole pot, obviously that's sort of job done. Possibly a repeat treatment in case any eggs hatch out, that would just make sense to me. But I can get it in granular form that also allows you to dissolve it in water. So I should be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, give the pots a dose in the diluted form, and then as a secondary sort of backup, a while later, apply the granules in the pot. And obviously as they're watered, they'll just keep that thing going in the pot. That's the best and recommended form I can find that I've got easy access to. They can be little sods, quite honestly. And I'm surprised, but then I haven't sprayed for a long time because I haven't seen, as in with my eyes, many bugs around, and I've just been applying a bit of spot treatment, a bit of alcohol on the odd little mealybug and the odd little bit of scale, which normally is sufficient. But these little blighters can hide away, and it's only this morning when obviously one particular pot must have had quite a little outbreak in the media, and by watering it thoroughly and letting the water run through 3 or 4 times, it washed a lot of them out into the bowl so I could see them. Now, I can't change my water for every single pot. I would run out on one shelf. So I'm basically going on the principle, as I have a treatment that's very effective coming soon, I've already ordered it, if I spread it around a bit in the meantime, it's not the end of the world. But I'm going to stop watering now and carry on with my watering tomorrow. But what I've done is I've backtracked on all the ones that have already been watered and given them a spray with my Bravado Ultimate Bug Killer. So that sorts the plants out, you know, and any scale or mealybugs or aphids. It does the lot in one go. That sorts the plants out, but it's not going to kill those little grubs in the media, apart from the spray that the surface of the pot's got. You know, as a precaution, basically. That's not really what that chemical's designed to do. It's designed to be absorbed into the plants themselves. But anyway, so that's as far as I've got now. But I've got to water my dailies properly today and get some feed into them and everything. So I'm going to have to carry on with that now. That's the rest of the day done. But looking at some of my plants that I often wondered what was going wrong with them, I'm nice and mobile now so I can point the camera. that is highly likely to be thrip damage. Yeah? They've got little mouth parts that bite tiny little holes or scrape the surface of the leaves and damage the leaves. And then as the leaves grow, the little tiny pinpoints of damage grow with the leaf. So they look bigger than the actual insect caused in the first place. But yeah, I mean, there are a few plants that I've often wondered about. And just doing a bit of analysis, a lot of the ones that I've wondered about, the odd leaf or two, are the ones that are in the older media or media with moss in. And basically the thrips larval stages feed on breaking down media. They actually help it break down as well as part of the process. So they're just not ideal things to have around. They need to be got rid of. So that's now a now thing. That must be done. They are most active in hot weather, and if you think about, we've had a couple of heat waves on the trot here, and the plants haven't had any protection since sort of back in March, April time. I think was the last time they had the systemic bug spray. So it's neglect on my part, but recoverable. I mean, damaged leaves aren't recoverable, but that's the oldest leaves on the oldest canes, and the new growths are clean at the moment, so all I can do is keep them clean. But even this Sideria or Phalaenopsis japonica's got marks on the leaves that I've wondered about. Thought perhaps it might be getting a bit too much light, but you never know. That was one of the plants I watered out of the 3 or 4 when I noticed the bugs in the bowl. So that could have been the one that the bugs came out of. It could have been several, but either way I'm going to deal with it. Thrips are notoriously difficult to get rid of. But having a read on the internet now, this particular ingredient is highly effective because it does work in the soil. I find it strange that it's normally used as an ant killer, but I don't care. If it does the job on all the larval stages of the thrips, job done. So I'll try that. But initially, the initial thing is to get everything in here sprayed and protect the plants themselves and the flower spikes and the buds, because that's what they get at. And they get right inside, so your flowers hatch out from their buds already damaged. So I've got to get on top of this now. So I'll hit that, and as I said, that means just basically putting the camera down and getting on with it. It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I haven't started watering my dailies. So that's where I've got to go now. So I'll cut this one off and see you again next time. Bye for now.